A love that defied time. In 1942, amidst the turmoil of World War II, a young American soldier named William Carter was stationed in England. He was a bright-eyed, kind-hearted man who believed in fate and the power of love. One evening, while wandering through the cobbled streets of a small English town, he stumbled upon a local dance hall where music swayed through the air like a sweet promise. That was where he met Eleanor Dawson. Eleanor was a nurse, a gentle soul with auburn hair and eyes that held stories deeper than the ocean. When William first saw her, she was laughing, carefree despite the war that loomed over them all. He couldn't take his eyes off her. Summoning his courage, he asked her for a dance, and from the moment their hands touched, something unspoken passed between them. Over the next few months, William and Eleanor's love blossomed amidst the uncertainty of war. They walked along the quiet riverbanks, exchanged letters filled with poetry, and dreamt of a future where war was just a memory. But war has a cruel way of tearing apart even the strongest of love stories. One fateful morning, William was deployed to the front lines in France. He held Eleanor tightly, whispering promises of forever. "Wait for me," he said. "No matter how long it takes, I'll find my way back to you." Eleanor watched him leave, clutching the locket he had given her, a small golden heart with their initials engraved inside. She wrote him letters every day, pouring her love into words, but as time passed, the letters stopped coming. Weeks turned into months, and then years. William was presumed missing in action. Heartbroken but unwilling to let go, Eleanor waited, holding on to the memory of the man who had danced with her that night. The war ended, but William never returned. Life moved forward, and though Eleanor's heart ached, she continued her work as a nurse, healing others while carrying an unhealed wound of her own. Decades passed. She never married, never stopped loving the boy with the bright. Then, in 1995, a local newspaper published an article about war veterans who had been discovered in old records, men who had survived but never found their way home. Among them was William Carter. He had been injured, taken as a prisoner of war, and later lost in bureaucratic red tape. By the time he was freed, he had no way of finding Eleanor, believing she had long moved on. He had lived quietly in America, never marrying, always wondering about the girl with auburn hair who had danced with him that night. Eleanor, now in her 70s, boarded a flight to America with a heart that pounded like it had on that first night. When they saw each other again, time melted away. William, now an old man, stood before her, tears in his eyes. "I told you I'd find my way back to you," he whispered. And just like that, they picked up where they had left off, proving that true love never fades, even after a lifetime apart.